will be talking on Ashtang Yoga of Patanjali. This is the highest scientific yoga. If one follows this yoga very judicially, scientifically, he can come to the highest ladder of Samadhi. It covers basically all aspects of human life, human emotions, human bhava, and human tendencies. It is always difficult to control the tendencies. That is the reason Ashtang Yoga has been started. Basic two aspects, Yama and Niyama. These two aspects, if one follows, then going to Dhyana, Pratyahara, and Samadhi becomes very easy. These two aspects, most of the people don't pay any attention. That is the reason their mind is never stable, their mind is always roaming, mind is always troubling them. So we must understand first Yama and Niyama in depth, judicially, and follow very rigorously in their life. Before coming to Yama and Niyama, we must understand that we are basically physical body and the soul in us. God is within us, but the soul never meets the body. It lives in the body. It never comes in contact with the body. As horizon, earth and sky never meet. When you come near to the horizon, again you will find sky has gone far away from you. The sky is the soul and earth is the body. Body and soul, like sky and earth, they never meet. It seems they are meeting. It is the effect of Maya. Well, we must understand, soul gives the light. By our soul, by our Chetana, by our consciousness, we perceive others, but we never perceive ourselves. We find the faults in others, but we never see our own faults. We see the faces of others, but we never see our own faces. Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali gives us the way that we must see ourselves. We must be in contact with our soul. We must be in contact with our consciousness. Outside world we are in contact, but not in ourselves, with the self of our own. You can understand in this way. The lamp gives the light all its surroundings, but there is always darkness under the lamp. In Hindi we say, Diye tale andhera. We are in darkness, but we give lights to others. This is the big dilemma. Ashtanga Yoga takes us out from this Maya, this Bhranti. It uplifts us. As the lamp is uplifted, then the light can come below it also. This is a very fine point. We must perceive in depth. We are lamp, we gives light to the others, but we don't give light to ourselves. There is always darkness around us. Patanjali Yoga Sutra starts from beginning and tells us by different ways how to enlighten ourselves. It starts from the first step of Yama. Second step is Niyama. Third step, as you know, is Asana. Then Pranayama, Pratyahara, then Dharana, then Dhyana, and then Samadhi. There are 8 steps. Each step we have to understand in depth and follow it, practice it to the extent that we must reach to the stage of Samadhi. I can mentally make you understand, but unless you follow it, practice yourself, then mental knowledge will not have any purpose. It will become the bookish knowledge. So please try to follow it whatsoever you understand in depth. Then only the purpose of Ashtanga Yoga is achieved. Starting from Yama has basically 5 aspects. This non-violence, non-stealing, brahmacharya, non-accumulation, and truthfulness. Let's try to understand each aspect in depth. First is non-violence doesn't mean it is generally understood, not killing. Yes, this aspect is there. We must not be violent. But non-violence has a great meaning. We must not hurt others. If we are hurting others, it's a violence. If you use wrong words for others, if by your language you hurt others, when you sit within you, you will get hurted. Then in a long run you will understand that action and reactions are equal and opposite. So we must not hurt others neither by thoughts nor by words, and absolutely not by actions. If you hurt others by action, then the legal aspect will punish you. But if you hurt by words, then the mutual quarrel and fight starts. But if you hurt by thinking, nobody knows it, but the Almighty knows it. You are creating your own sins for it. Sin is always with your thinking, with your thoughts, with your bhavas. That is the reason people get upset because of their sins. They think they have not done anything wrong, but they don't see within themselves they have committed lot of sins by wrong thinkings, wrong bhavas, and wrong intentions. God punishes for your sins only. Common punishes for your deeds. World punishes by the society. So sins are very fine offense. They will trouble you all the times. So try to avoid sins. Sins can be avoided only by your good intentions, good thinkings, and good bhavas. So being non-violence has a deep understanding. If you look someone with bad intention, that itself is a non-violence. You won't understand it, but it's a non-violence. You are hurting him. If with the wrong intentions, some thoughts comes in your mind, erotic thoughts or something of like that, that itself is a non-violence. They're a very fine type of non-violence. Even through breathing, you are killing a lot of germs. That itself is a non-violence. The person who takes less breath, he commits less violence. If we sleep by left side, then takes the right, then sleep on right side, then again on left side. Every time you change the sides, you are killing number of germs. That itself is a violence. Buddha was sleeping just on one side throughout the life. Mahavir never turned while he was resting. So they did it very rigorously so that the less violence is committed. If you pluck the fruit from the tree, that itself is a violence. But if the fruit comes down on the earth when it is ripe and then you eat it, then it is not violence. It becomes a non-violence act. Mahavira never plucked any fruit from the tree. When the fruits have fallen down on the ground, then only he has eaten. He didn't take the food and had the gap of 12 days. Only after 12 days he used to take the meals in the type of fruits when he found on the ground. That is a very rigorous tapa. In a present life, we cannot do all those things, but to the extent possible, we must try to have non-violence in our life, at least in our thoughts, in our words, in our deeds. Non-violence has a very long list, but it is not possible to explain in a short interval of time. Observe non-violence as much as possible as per your capacity. The next point comes brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is not celibacy. Of course, celibacy is the highest part of brahmacharya. But brahmacharya is to live according to the Brahma, to live according to the God. When we live according to the God, then growth, lobh, moh, ahankar will not come. That itself is a brahmacharya. We must eat sattvic food. That is a part of brahmacharya. Food which we are eating, it must be earned with our pure labor. Labor can be mental or physical, but not snatching from others, not deceiving from others. Then the food becomes pure. Talking ill of others is also like consuming the stale food. This will affect you. Thinking bad for the others, it also affects you some way or the other. So in short, brahmacharya to be followed as per the life of God, as per the life of Brahma. You must have a pure life as the God is having. In our thoughts, in our words, in our deeds, by our intentions, by all walks of life. We should be like God. That is the brahmacharya. Celibacy is a very important part. If you keep celibacy to the maximum extent, you will become graceful. Celibacy or brahmacharya is possible as you see Shiva temple if you go. Nandi is outside the temple, but Shiva is always in meditation. Nandi is the most powerful so far sex energy is concerned. Shiva always keeps himself out of this energy. That's why Nandi is outside the temple and he is always in meditation. He is always within the self so that the erotic thoughts does not disturb him. He should keep mentally brahmacharya all the time. All these aspects have a very in-depth meaning. Why it's like that? Because with this we will have a ojas energy within us. This energy keeps us healthy. Disease will not come to us. We will be physically strong, we will be mentally strong. But if we lose this energy, of course it will get replenished within no time. But you will not get the benefit of this energy. This energy finally turns to be the consciousness. Your aim is to reach to the Samadhi. Brahmacharya plays a very, very important role. It is the accumulation of energy, not by force, by transformation. This energy gets transformed and it changes to the Kundalini power, reaches to Sahasrara, and then to the merge with the cosmic energy. So brahmacharya is very important to preserve. Then comes non-stealing. While our activities should be like that, we should not steal the possession of others. This is a common understanding. Stealing comes in the forms of the thoughts of others. In business, people steal the techniques of the others and flourish their own business. So non-stealing has a very big panorama. You must follow non-stealing in all aspects. Whatsoever you do, it should be your own. If you gift the flowers to the god, it should not be stolen flowers from the garden. You create your own creative energy, life force energy within you, and that you put forward before the god. This will have an immense benefit that is of your own earning, that is by your own efforts, not the stolen things. Of course, to come to that level, it requires a lifelong practice, but try to give to the God, not the stolen things. You earn the money in a wrong way and just go to the temple or Tirupati, give to the God. It is not a fear earning. Somewhere or the other you will find it is a stolen earning. You will not get that benefited. Even if you give 1 rupee of your own earning, pure earning, that will give a much higher benefit to you than with the stolen earnings. Next comes the non-accumulation. In life, we are going accumulating. If we have 1 house, we'll try to have 10 houses. If we have 1 lakh, we will try to earn by different means have a crores. So we must not accumulate. I remember a small story. One king made a saint of highest order, a judge, so that he can decide the cases judicially to keep the discipline in the society. So one particular case came to him that one fellow has stolen the money of a rich fellow. You know what the judge did? Judge gave 6 months punishment to the poor man who has stolen the money from the rich man, and 6 months he has given punishment to the rich man himself. The king was surprised. Where is the mistake of the rich man here? Why he has given the punishment to the rich man? Nobody understood his logic. And finally he came forward and told, had this rich man not accumulated so much money by wrong means, the other fellow would not have stolen it. The fellow who has stolen, he has to be punished. But the fellow who has accumulated in a wrong means, he needs punishment also. That is the reason I have given punishment to both of them. So excess accumulation creates the greediness in the mind of others, and they force the other person to become thief. So for the benefit of society, for the benefit of yourself, you must not accumulate excess money by the wrong means. Of course, by right means you can never accumulate. You will earn that much so that you can live happily. So excess accumulation is wrong in many aspects. The next point is the truthfulness. We must be truthful to ourselves, to our society, to our profession, to our family, in different spheres of life. Truthfulness is a gift of God. Most of the people cannot speak truth. Whatsoever they speak, it will be partial truth and it will create a lot of problems. Anything spoken, even if you speak truth, it becomes untruth. Because you cannot reproduce the same truth which the other fellow has narrated it. Question is, by words, truth cannot be expressed. Only that fellow can be truthful who lives within himself, who is with his soul. Whatsoever he speaks, he doesn't speak from the mind, he speaks from his consciousness. Then only he can speak truth, he can live truthfully, he can deal others with truthfulness. To maintain truthfulness is a very rigorous exercise, and it is possible only by the blessings of God. By human efforts, of course, you can get some success, but that will be partial. So in short, these 5 ethical laws of Yamas, if you follow in life, your life will become graceful, truthful, and when you will sit in meditation, your own thoughts will not disturb you. Because as you sit in meditation, in Dhyana, whatsoever you have accumulated within yourself, they will come forward, they will pollute your mind, and you will not be able to sit in Dhyana. So basically, unless you follow Yama very rigorously, stage of Dhyana to achieve is not that easy. You will close the eyes and sit, but you will not be in Dhyana at all. Thoughts will disturb you. Next comes the Niyama. Niyama is your own self-discipline of life. The first self-discipline is Sacha. Sacha means purity. Inside purity and outside purity. Outside purity you can make to some extent, but inside purity to maintain is very, very difficult, because inside purity will depend upon whom you interact, what type of food you take, what is your thinking, what is your past life. So inside maintaining purity is a Herculean task. It's a difficult task. But if you maintain outside purity, it will affect your inside. And in a long run, you will be able to maintain inside and outside purities both. Next self-discipline is to have contentment within you, santosh. If you are contented, then you are desireless. You will not desire unduly for something or the other. This will give you a lot of satisfaction. You will become choiceless. Whatsoever comes in your life, you will accept it. You think everything is done by God. You become a dry leaf. Wherever wind takes you, will go. It means whatsoever God wants, you will not object it. So santosh, contentment, gives you a lot of happiness, and your life will become graceful within no time. Next point of self-discipline is swadhyaya. We do a lot of activities every day, but we don't study, don't read book or sayings of great saints of this world to adopt their lifestyle within us. Swadhyaya is very important to improve yourself. One must spend minimum half an hour in swadhyaya. Swadhyaya, in other words, to read yourself. Place of reading books also, another meaning is to read yourself. What type of thoughts comes in your mind? Where is your inclination? And then you can go on improving it. That's also swadhyaya. But that is possible only when you're in touch with the good literature, good understanding, and in-depth knowledge of the subject. Subject means of your own self. You are the subject. Swadhyaya is to improve yourself. That is very important. Next point here is tapa. Tapa means penance. For self-discipline, some penance will be required. Penance means to control yourself. You should not be in bad society. you follow the norms which takes you to divinity. It means you must follow divine laws. Doing good jobs in your profession is always a penance for you. So after Yama and Niyama, next come the Asana. Asana has a very significant in our life because to follow the Yama Niyama, our gross body must be very healthy, very sound. It can be kept healthy not only by food but by various yoga exercises, yoga asana, by your walking, by various other exercises. But yoga asana has a very significant here. So one must do some asanas suiting to him to the maximum extent. But you must remember when you become old, then doing asana is not possible. It's not feasible. In that case, you must sit quietly and imagine what asanas you were doing when you were young. Mentally, you will be with those asanas, just sitting there and imagination. That will give the equal effect to you because physically you are not able to do, but mentally you are doing it. So this will also keep you healthy in your old age. Those who are physically not healthy, they must do the asanas, what they were doing in their life to keep themselves fit. Asana has a very other importance in life also. There is a system that by asana itself, following a proper way, you can enter in the stage of Samadhi. There are various asanas, of course, that can be taught only by the experts, masters. Without following Dhyana and so many other steps, you can reach to the stage of Samadhi. But it is not that easy and that's why it is not that popular also. But one can do it. If you have mastered the Mool Bandha, that is also possible by asana and that can take you to the stage of Samadhi. After asana, there is Pranayama. Most of the people know about Pranayama. Pranayama, it is done for the Nadi Shuddhi. Pranayama is basically a breathing exercise. As I told you, the breath is the master. Breath is the guru. Without breath, you cannot survive. Breath gives you the pranic energy. All our yogic kriyas are based on the breathing. Even Kriya Yoga is a breathing exercise in a certain particular way. You can keep yourself healthy by proper breathing. You can control the mind by proper breathing. Breathing is not alom, vilom and all those things. It has a unlimited benefits by different breathing exercises. You can control the stress by the breathing. By the breathing, you can control your pranic energy. You can come to the stage of Dhyana and finally when the breath is ceased to exist, then you can come to the stage of Samadhi. Breath has unlimited benefits. I have loaded about 50 videos on breathing, YouTube. You please listen to them. You will get a lot of scientific information and for your Dhyana Paddhati to follow, to control your stresses. So Pranayama has a unlimited benefits. So that is the reason I told you that Ashtang Yoga of Patanjali is the master of all yogas because all yogas are started from the Ashtang Yoga. All are the different branches of this. So please don't consider just a small Yama, Niyama and your exercises for Pranayama and all that. It has a different and various contribution for upliftment of the mankind. Next comes Pratyahara. Pratyahara after Pranayama is to look within you because all the time we are in the external world, but we are not with the subject. We are the subject. Pratyahara means to be with you. But if you go in depth of Pratyahara, how you can be with you only by the breathing. Just sit down calmly, quietly and observe your breath. Then you are within yourself. And gradually, when you are within yourself, a stage will come. You are with your consciousness. You are with your Atma. So Pratyahara is very significant to divert your energies within you. And the breath is the significant means to do it. And without Pratyahara, you cannot move forward to the stage of Samadhi. After Pratyahara, the next step is Dharana. When your energies are within you, then you can sit quietly for a long time as a Dharana. Dharana in other word is Dharana also. Dharana and Dharana basically are the same. First you will have Dharana and then you will become a Dharana within you, what you want to do it. When you come in the stage of Dharana, you will not have a mental thinking, you will not have a bhava. You will be just vacant, you are in the vacuum. In that stage, whatsoever thought comes to your mind, that will get fulfilled. I will give you a real story to explain it. It is not only a story, but the realistic happening about a century back. There was a young guy who was not knowing anything about Patanjali Yoga Sutra or anything. But by there's a God gift, he was most of the time sitting quiet and living within himself, unknowingly. With that, he has developed a certain inner energies. So once he was traveling, he didn't have money to buy the ticket. And when the ticket collector came to hide himself, he went under the bench. And when ticket collector came, he saw him, the fellow is under the bench. He said, "Where is your ticket?" He just found a little paper nearby him. And since he was in a stage of dharana always, he just gave a piece of paper to him without saying anything. The ticket collector says, "You have the ticket, why you are hiding? You sit on the chair itself." He got up and sat in the chair. Then he thought, I just took a piece of paper and he considered it as a ticket. Then he understood that he has a certain capabilities because most of the time he is within himself. He has developed the dharana. So whatsoever he thinks, it happens. Then he developed this technique. This fellow is from the Russia during the Stalin time. Then Stalin came to know about him. He said, if you have that much of capabilities, why don't you go to the bank and draw $1 lakh rubles from there and bring it to me? Without security arrangement, without telling to the bank authorities, he was allowed to go to any bank. He went inside, went to the counter, he took a piece of paper and given to the cashier. Cashier saw everything and given him a 1 lakh rubles. He came out and given to the Stalin was shocked. Then he said, I must return this money to the cashier, otherwise he will be in the problem. He went to the bank, given to the cashier $1 lakh and tell him, you return my paper. Cashier saw there is no paper, only some piece of paper. On that piece of paper he has given 1 lakh rubles to him. He was shocked that he collapsed with the heart attack when he saw this thing. Then finally, Stalin told him that I live in a high security. Night 11 o'clock you come to my room. In his villa there were 35 rooms and he was staying in one of the rooms. He changed the room every day for the security reasons. He reached 11 o'clock at the gate and met to the security head and tell him the Stalin wants to meet him. He did nothing, no paper, nothing. That fellow took him to the Stalin's room. Stalin was shocked to see, without paper, without anything, this fellow has entered the room. Then he said, what did you do? He said, I didn't do anything. I just thought Stalin wants to meet me. So Stalin was shocked. So what I mean to say, that is the power of dharana. Finally, that fellow was used by Stalin in a different ways for the war purposes and all those things. So this technique, this was a God gifted to him, but it was a technique of dharana. So we can also develop this technique of dharana after pratyahara, so that no other thought comes in our mind except that what we wanted. That is as if we are going beyond time and space. Going beyond time and space means we are with the God. Then everything happens in a miraculous way. After dharana, when you have developed the dharana, then dhyana becomes very easy.